star. Lady, make me wait until the riptide, make me wait until the dark side. I wanna be your left-hand man, and I love you when you're singing that song. And I got a lump in my throat 'cause you're gonna sing the words.
Hello, my name's Shaggy. It's been a gnarly day today. So, I am currently through hiking the Appalachian Trail. Started March 5th.
I started hiking the Appalachian Trail on April 3rd of 2016, and currently we're at 1,200 and some odd miles in.
Yes, Georgia to Maine.
My trail name is Google. I'm from Mason City, Iowa.
Home for me is Gadsden, Alabama.
Like sitting here and I'm like, wow, I've walked 1,200 miles. Like, it's pretty shocking just to think that you've just walked that far and you're still going.
My longest hike before this was only 6 miles, so.
I'm actually an aerospace engineer, but the last 5 years I've been working as an agricultural engineer. It just was not geographically where I wanted to be. So I spent most of that year in Egypt, India, Algeria, various other countries across the world, meeting with governments to try to solve the issues of post-harvest loss.
To sum it up, I just had to take a walk. But basically I was just at a really low point in my life and had to get away and clear the mind, you know. Trail's been the best therapy I think anybody can do. If you like the outdoors, if that's something you can see yourself doing.
I've actually known about the trail since I was maybe 14. Really wanted to do it for basically that entire time, but I quit my job for a myriad of reasons, but it felt really good to, you know, just basically have my world reduced down to one foot in front of another, and then figure out life afterwards.
I have a ton of reasons, you know, but like that's why I set foot on Springer Mountain, the beginning.
The very coolest part of hiking the Appalachian Trail, the people. Every single person comes from a different background, from a different place.
The people. The people is what makes the journey.
And each person you're instantly friends with because they all have the same struggle, they all have the same experiences.
Everybody's out here just for the same reason. You know, we're all trying to get to Maine.
Some have a little more wild experiences, some have a little more tame experiences. But everyone's seen the things that you've seen. Everyone's really gone through the same areas that you've gone through.
There's a bunch of favorite quotes that I've acquired over this journey, and one of my favorite ones, there's feminine moments on the trail and there's masculine moments on the trail. Like the feminine being like, you know, when you're at a view and you're talking to, you know, somebody else from across the globe who's doing the same thing that you're doing. I've been to 3 festivals while on the trail. And so, but before I got off for the first one, I actually hiked with people for, you know, like about, you know, 700 or more miles. And so like we had our bonds, you know, it was my trail family. And so like my trail family is now in Maine. They're almost done. I don't have like, you know, a group that I'm always with. Like I'm meeting like everybody every day. But like back then it's like I hiked with these people for like 2.5 months. And so I miss them.
So trail names, this harkens back to the days before, you know, Facebook and all that stuff existed. You know, everyone's out here doing the same thing, having the same struggles, so there's no point in having necessarily what your background is be what the focus of who you are. So trail names is a way for you to be named something based on who you are at that time. My trail name is Google. You know, I'd be talking to them and then they'd have some response of like, wow, you know a lot, you should be called Google. And so finally it just stuck and people have been calling me Google ever since. Most people think I work for Google, but I don't, so hey Google. Oh, by the way guys, if you ever get a chance, go to Egypt soon. Like when I was there.
Egypt, Pennsylvania?
No, Egypt.
Oh. No, because I was in Egypt. I was in Egypt, Pennsylvania just a second ago, so that's why.
Right.
That's why it was fresh on my mind. Like, I have had some knee inflammation, some knee issues. It's the hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
The Damascathon into Damascus, Virginia.
The Damascathon, and that's where you start 42 miles south of Damascus, and you do that within 24 hours.
At that time, I was having an issue with sprains and plantar fasciitis. I broke down about 7 miles outside of town in the rain, like fell to my knees, like I can't take any more anti-inflammatory meds, like I can't walk.
I did 42 miles in like 15 or 16 hours. I started at 7 in the morning and I got there at 10 o'clock at night.
And so that was a party, like particularly bad period of time. Gorgeous area, but I'm always like in miserable pain for like a month. It was just not very much fun.
Like, I will never be doing 42 miles in a day again. That was like, that was the hardest thing I've probably done on the trail, and bad decision, but I did it because I wanted to say that I did it. 4.5 months out here, like you can just imagine how many beautiful moments and experiences that I've had.
And you know, it's just incredible that we have the privilege of seeing some of these places, and you get to see so much more of the wild in the Americas than most people do.
A moment in which you're like, that is by far the best moment so far.
Oh man, Blood Mountain is like the first huge climb. So when I finally got to the top of Blood Mountain, I saw the view, I was just like, oh man, I'm gonna do this all the way up and down the East Coast for the next 6 months.
Have you gotten wet yet? Like rained on badly?
Have you hiked the trail?
No, like
Then yes.
like sleeping bag and all that shit. And
Oh, you're talking about soaked. Oh. Yeah. Well, yeah, dude. I had 20 out of 30 days of rain in Virginia, bro. I've been soaked.
I haven't gotten my sleeping bag wet yet.
What?
Crossing my fingers. Crossing my fingers.
Well, lucky you, bro. I've had 20 days, man, of just. It was fun though. But you know what they say: no pain, no rain, no Maine. As cliche as that is, but it's the truth, man. Like,
so you just kind of get used to being wet or being cold or being warm or whatnot, and you do these things that are very specific to each instance to keep yourself healthy and well. And the majority of people just aren't exposed anymore to actual weather. You know, you hear the tornado sirens go off or whatever, and there's a huge storm coming, but most people are just like, meh, I'm inside a house. It's kind of nice. It's kind of nice to be adapted to it.
yeah. Water, obviously, hydration is like, you'll die. Like, hydration is key. You can't get dehydrated. Springs normally, they normally occur like down the mountain because, you know, the mountain filters the water and then it pops out somewhere, which is pretty cool. But the springs that are the closest springs here lately are dried up. At least 5 times. I've had to hike down, like straight down the mountain, like sometimes half a mile to get to a running spring. Like you have to do bonus miles is what I call them. Like bonus miles is like miles you walk into town or miles you walk to go get water because it's essential.
Well, yesterday I went down to a spring and it wasn't there, so it was like, you know, it's like spring 1, spring 2, spring 3, spring 4, spring 5.
You have to go to spring 5 a lot of the time.
And then you get there and you're like, well, there's practically nothing here. It's just a small pool of water. And so I got what I could out of it, but it wasn't much. We get burnt out so quick on stuff. Pop-Tarts, I'm happy not to see a Pop-Tart again for at least a year.
Yeah, no, for me it's oatmeal. Oatmeal, like I started off eating it for breakfast every day, but like, man, me and oatmeal are not friends anymore. Like,
some of the things we crave though are obviously like fresh fruits and vegetables. Right now I have Oreos for breakfast because they're really high in calories. So I mean, it's not exactly a healthy diet, but candy is important.
It's the unhealthiest diet you could ever do. I crave meat, high in protein, high in energy. I carry summer sausage, so like, and a bunch of jerky. I'm always eating meat, like I have to. The foods that I crave the most are foods that I can't have on the trail. Like, give me this sirloin steak. Yes, give me this double juicy burger that's gonna clog my arteries like that. Humans didn't, like I said, didn't have all this years ago. So to experience what they, in a way, have experienced is kind of, you know, it's kind of humanizing in a way. It changes your thinking, or at least it's changed my thinking in a big way. You get your own. You don't have, you know, running water, air conditioning. You don't have heat when it's cold. Like, you don't have showers. So, like, it makes me, I'm very much more appreciative of just like the little things that, you know, we take for granted. You know, in my home, I wouldn't have like bugs just randomly crawling on me like I did just then.
I think one of the funnest days hiking for me was going up over Roan Mountain. I went in the blizzard. Like, we had 8 inches of snow, it's drifting, there's massive icicles hanging on everything, and the trees are all crusted in ice, and decided it was a really good idea to go up and over. Yeah, it's probably one of the worst decisions I've made, but it was really fun.
I have a very similar experience at Roan Mountain. It was 20-something degrees with 60-mile-an-hour, like, continuous winds, not gusts, like, continuous, all the smoke. What a nice,
It's cool looking.
nice effect. I was literally getting blown, like, I had to lean into the wind. It was life or death, man. And I just remember thinking to myself, I'm like, if I stop, like, I'm stopping for good. I was like, oh my God, it was 5 miles. And like I said, bad decision, like you said, because that was dangerous.
I got down and I'm like, I'm so cold. Shit.
As long as you're aware, you're gonna be okay, and that's in any situation. If you're aware, awareness is one of the best gifts that humans possess. And if you are capable of being aware, why wouldn't you? Because it'll save your life.
There's a story that I think you'd like. This guy decides to quit his job and head for New York City. This cowboy is running from himself.
Have you guys heard of whippoorwill yet?
Oh, I hate whippoorwill.
The worst bird in the world.
My arch enemy. Oh, I hate the bird whippoorwill, man. That was epic, man. It was awesome.
We can all lament that, you know, anything that's named sassafras sucks. You know, it's just, anything named sassafras is just not going to be your friend.
It's gonna be weird going back into society, but I'm stoked to though, because I miss all my people.
I got a lump in my throat 'cause you're gonna sing the words wrong.
It's really it's kind of a humbling experience just to realize that it can be done.
And then like the masculine part is like the mile monster, like, oh, I gotta go 20 miles today. I gotta get to here at this point.
It's just gorgeous. I mean, every day is beautiful, every day is different. Today I just saw 3 bears on the way up to this shelter.
Oh, my faith in humanity is restored.
I can have it any other way. And I swear she is destined for the screen.
Okay.
As close
I'm not
to
typically-
Michelle
I'm just impressed they're willing to bring out a big ass
ever
gun.
seen.
I'm just stoked that it's their first time on the trail ever. Nothing else. Thanks for the interview.
I wanna be your left-hand man, and I love you when you're singing that song, yeah. I got a lump in my throat 'cause you're gonna sing the